as Venom was because like it hadn't been done in the series before, and it wasn't actually Big Boss doing it. Big Boss would never go in with a shotgun and just start blowing people open, except for in Camp Omega. But Camp Omega, once you think about it, you had to rescue Paz and Chico, you were running low on time, the inspection was coming up. So it kind of makes sense to go in loud. Like, if you did go in loud in that mission, like, that makes sense. Another topic we can touch on. Sorry, I'm just going to be doing these talks about Metal Gear Solid 6. Like, kind of casually for now, but I'm hoping to get it into a series, have fans get interested in my videos, hopefully give me some more suggestions, their inputs. Like, if you don't agree that Sniper Wolf was trained by Big Boss and you think he was... I did not mean to kill him. If you think Big Boss should have... I mean, if you think Big Boss wasn't the one that trained him, it was Venom Snake, let me know. Because I want to know if you think that. I mean, I don't agree with you because the entirety of the events of Metal Gear Solid 5, the Phantom Pain, like, I don't know what, like, it can't be the year 1984, like, the entire way through. There's no way. Like, the events that happen in it, I'd say it takes more than the course of 1 year to get the entire base set up like it is. All those FOBs and everything. I don't feel like there's room for Sniper Wolf in Venom's story. I feel like it's gonna be with the big, like, Naked Snake. Also, I'd like to see more than just Russians. So, what I mean by this, say it's in South Africa, I wouldn't want just one type of enemy. I'd want to have more like Metal Gear Solid 4. Metal Gear Solid 4, yes. To where there's two enemies fighting on a battlefield and it doesn't feel like it's you versus everybody. It feels more like, hey, I'm this guy sneaking in. There's more than one type of people fighting here. So I'm gonna pull up the map real quick. So say this is South Africa and not Afghanistan. So say it's split down the middle, like 2 countries or something. This side is fighting this side. Or it's all just one big country, but this outpost is held by the rebels. This is held by the main government. Rebels, government. Or there's more than one group of rebels, and some can be allied, some can be not. I don't know, it'd just be cool to see people fighting, like actual tanks, like battling with soldiers and stuff. And then like you just come in and just turn the tide of the battle. Like over the course of the game, maybe you can get the rebels pushed out, pushed north or something, or pushed south. And then, like, just whatever you do in the game affects, like, you're not purposely trying to, like, do one side or the other. You're just trying to build up Outer Heaven. I don't know. That's one thing I want you guys to do in the comments. So if you actually are watching this and you want to comment, that'd be great. Cause is it Outer Haven, Haven, or Outer Heaven, Heaven? Because I've heard it said both ways. I've seen it spelled both ways. I'm just kind of confused on that whole concept. I've always thought of it as Outer Haven, but I don't know. I've been saying Outer Heaven recently, just because someone corrected me to say Outer Heaven, and I'm not sure if that's correct or not, but I've been doing it. Another thing is so there should be more than, so the different enemies should have different weapons. So say it's the Americans are in South Africa, or the government is aided by the Americans. Well, they'd have the, I guess in this game, AMMRS-4 rifle, which in real life would be like the M16 or the M4, depending on what time era it's in. 1984, I'm not sure what they had. Probably an M16 once I think about it. They might have had an M4. In any case, the American backside could have the American-based weapons, and the Soviet, like the people who buy weapons from the Soviets, could have the more AK-styled weapons. That way there's more like variety in like what you're fighting against. And then also, I feel like the enemies you capture, so say there's like a Russian intelligence agent you capture, right? I feel like you should get access to not necessarily Russian outfits, but like Russian styled camos. Like, I don't know. I feel like it would be cool to have like different, like you could assign different units to have different camos and stuff. Like, I know that's kind of like asking for too much, but I feel like the perfect Metal Gear game would have you being able to basically do what you do with Diamond Dogs, but be able to micromanage it a little bit, even more, I'd say. It would make it a little bit more competitive. Have it to where you can assign different units to wear different items, like, and like you could promote a certain amount of people to be like higher ranks and stuff. They would wear. So like in this game, it kind of shows like anyone hanging around Ocelot has red berets on. I feel like you should be able to pick like your special forces like uniforms and stuff. Like if you want to have them have like US styled camos, they could have US kind of more styled camos. They could have basically whatever they want. I mean, whatever you want to put on them, and kind of have like a distinct look to them. And then if people like infiltrate your base, they seem more the elite people wearing certain outfits. They'd see like the other people wearing certain outfits. Or if you had one outfit on everybody and you had your special forces group not wear berets or any kind of special hats, then like they could blend in better, but they wouldn't look as cool to you, like whatever, you know. Like I feel like that would be cool. Maybe Gray Fox could be like a special trainer or something, or like a special person. Sniper Wolf could be a special person, kind of like maybe Quiet is in this game. Maybe you can bring him along as a buddy, or maybe they could change it to where instead of commanding your buddy kind of does their own thing. Meaning, like, instead of telling Quiet to go scout an outpost in a certain location, say you're dropped off in this. Say you're dropped off, like, down here near Spugmay Keep, but your mission is in Abe. I don't know how to say that. Say your mission is in La Marcate Palace, right? And you're down here. No. Say your mission's here, and you spawn here, or something. And there's like certain stuff you have to do along the way, and you end up here. Well, maybe like your buddies could just be like deployed into the AO and kind of act separate from you, kind of like as scouts slash like maybe they could engage certain outposts. I guess Quiet can do that, but it's kind of weird when she does it. It doesn't feel like she's her own entity. It feels like you're commanding her. I just want it to feel like as if your people aren't commanded by you, like they have their own specific missions and goals they need to do. They have their own part in the mission, kind of thing. Maybe you can command that, maybe you can't, but like something like more not necessarily more interactive, but more to where like you're not doing everything. And then there's like a whole bunch of enemies fighting each other, and it's just, I guess, a little bit more chaotic. But then, say there's a time limited mission. There's people here, and people here. So they need to break through this outpost to get here. And you spawn around here. So you see them fighting at this outpost. Well, if you help them here, and they push on to here, but your extraction target's here, then you just helped the rebels push up, so now you don't have to worry about as much guards here, but then the rebels might kill your target, so you'd have to like not extract that guy, not get certain information out of him. Maybe just complete the mission like in a different way than you're supposed to, because the intel he could have given you could have told you a certain location here, like which certain power stuff you have to turn off or something. I don't know. Or you could help them push downwards, so you wouldn't have to worry about the rebels killing up here, and a lot of guards up here would be pushing the offensive down here, and these guys would be down here. So this base would just have a skeleton crew after you help them move down here, and you'd be stealthing, so they wouldn't know you're helping them. It's just like a headshot here, a headshot here, a headshot here. Okay, there's less enemies. They can easily push the enemies down here now. Like, they don't know you're actively helping them engage. Like, if you started shooting, both sides would try to kill you because you're not with them, you know? Unless maybe Outer Haven can make certain alliances with certain groups. So say there's many groups or something. Maybe you have a choice along the storyline to team up with a certain group. So say the rebels or the government or whatever. Or a certain rebel group over another. Maybe that would help towards gameplay. Maybe certain bonuses, certain characters. I don't know, that sounds kind of cool. Another thing, this would be actual story wise. There's a lot of characters, and by a lot of characters, I mean a lot of characters. Big Boss met during the events of the Phantom Pain and the first Metal Gear. For example, let me pull this screenshot up. So these are going to be all the characters he meets during the events of the Phantom Pain and Metal Gear. So somewhere along that time period, because he woke up. I mean, he left at the same time Venom started. So he'd be starting around the same time Venom started. So first off, he'd have to meet Sniper Wolf, Gray Fox, Petrovich, Ellen, the Shotmaker, the Fire Trooper, Machine Gun Kid, Coward Duck, Bloody Brad, the TX-11 robots, Snyder/Black Ninja, Running Man, Red Blaster, the Four Horsemen, the Ultra Box, Jungle Evil/Predator, Night Sight, and any new characters they'd want to introduce to the series. He'd have to meet every single one of those characters for the storyline to make sense. I mean, that's crazy. And they'd all be like certain heads of departments or like special elite characters that help your base or something. I mean, that's crazy. And Zero is... I feel like he tried to find Zero. And maybe even... Technically he joined the Fox unit again, or Foxhound, one of the two. I'm sorry. I know you're gonna call me a noob for that, if you're not already thinking I am. But he becomes the leader of one of the two. I'm not gonna look it up right now just because I'm lazy. Pretty sure it's the Fox unit at this point. Don't think it's Foxhound yet. Well, he becomes the leader of Foxhound, and his son joins the unit. I mean, his blood son that les enfants terribles brage. I mean, like, you've heard the story, I'm sure. You just feel like, I don't know, all that needs to be addressed. Okay, I'm gonna cut the video here. Please like and subscribe, comment, and I'm gonna definitely end it here because Yeah, I've been running my mouth a long time.